I'm going to lash you to within an inch of your miserable life. And then I'm going to have you. I had to do that. Hello folks, shintigercurl here, that dude in the straw hat, bringing you yet another awesome video. It's Monday night. You know what that means. Time for some Raw. Last night on Elimination Chamber, needless to say, we had some pretty good matches, an upset you wouldn't believe, and a very controversial ending to the world title match. What kind of fallout we're gonna have? Well, the show opens with the Authority not looking too pleased with themselves because Dean Ambrose made off with Seth Rollins' title. Now, they know that Dean is probably there somewhere, and they demand that Dean make his presence known. Instead, what they got was Roman Reigns. He says that he has a message from Dean Ambrose. He says that unless Seth Rollins puts that unless they want to see the World Heavyweight title again, Seth will face Dean for that title in a ladder match at the next WWE pay-per-view, Money in the Bank, which is in 2 weeks. Wow, just these back-to-back pay-per-views, and they're all good. So anyway, Seth goes nuts, saying that he accepts, even contrary to what Triple H and Sexy Power want. He accepts the match and says he doesn't need J&J security. He doesn't need a 7-foot-tall retard, i.e. Kane, and he doesn't need the Authority. And so he storms off like a little bitch. Seth Rollins, you precious little candy ass. But yeah, the Authority's not happy tonight, and they're going to take it out on Roman Reigns, who has a match tonight. Well, next, after that little segment, he will have to face someone who wants his spot in the Money in the Bank ladder match. If he loses tonight, he loses his spot. So we segue into our first match, Roman Reigns versus King Barrett. This was a nice opener, get the crowd warmed up. They mesh well together. There was a few sloppy moves from Roman, but nothing too big or too dangerous. But in the end, Roman comes out the winner. Backstage, Sexy Power and the Admiral are congratulating them in the trolley way that they do, and says that he has another match, this time against the world's strongest man, Mark Henry. Somebody's gonna get the race split. Next up, we have a singles match between two more competitors in the WWE Money in the Bank ladder match, coming in 2 weeks. Kofi Kingston, representing the New Day, versus Dolph Ziggler. It was an pretty okay match, very short, with Dolph Ziggler picking up the win. The New Day jump the ring, but then the primetime players come out and give him a hand. And in a move inspired by Teddy Long, they was like, "Hold on there, player. Y'all ain't gonna do that. See, what we're gonna do is have ourselves a 6-man tag team match." But yeah, we have a 6-man tag between the New Day and the Primetime Players and Dolph Ziggler. This was a good match. The Primetime Players looked very, very strong in this one, so I'm very happy for it. I'm liking how they're building up the Primetime Players as contenders for the New Day's titles. So, and I'm also, like I said, I like the Douche Day because they're finally becoming the arrogant assholes that they should have been, and now it feels actually good to hate them, which is good. Let's see, what next? Oh yeah, I'm sorry if I'm getting this out of order. This was a rather... I'll tell you this. I'll tell you when I get to the end of my review. So anyway, next up, Roman Reigns has to face Mark Henry. It was okay for what it was. Both guys are kind of limited in this regard. They need other people to make themselves look good because their repertoire is somewhat limited. But nevertheless, Roman wins via countout. And Mark Henry doesn't like that. He hits the world's strongest slam, and Roman's all kinds of fucked up. So as he limps back to the back, Sexy Power and the Admiral troll him again and say he has the main event, which is him versus Bray Wyatt. Next up, the moment that I and a lot of wrestling fans have been waiting for, Kevin Owens comes out and talks about his epic victory against John Cena. And he says that his son is a John Cena fan, and in order for him to be a better father, he'll have to kill John Cena. John Cena is pissed. More pissed than I've ever seen him, and it could come off as bitching in my opinion. And of course, he goes on about this whole spiel about, you know, the whole thing, never give up, blah blah blah, this is me, blah blah blah, Super Cena, blah blah blah. Not that it's a bad promo, it's just I've heard this promo before. Week after week, it's the same goddamn promo from John Cena. And the best part about it is, none of it affects Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is not in this to get John Cena's respect. I mean, John Cena said it that before Kevin started saying anything, he was going to come out there, shake Kevin Owens' hand, and hand him the U.S. title. Kevin Owens don't want the U.S. title. Kevin Owens doesn't want John Cena's respect. Kevin Owens simply wants to do what's best for Kevin Owens. And what's best for Kevin Owens is pop up powerbombing John Cena until he bleeds from every single orifice in his entire body. And then powerbombs him 10 more times on principle. Then powerbombs him 5 more times because he had a bad itch. And then powerbombs him 1 more time just because he's bored. But yeah, it looks like the two are going to fight, but Kevin Owens, like always, prefers to fight on his terms. Yeah, to say Kevin Owens is the man is a vast, vast understatement. Yeah, he's the man right now. Also, impromptu World Divas title match between Nikki Bella and Paige. This was an okay match. Very by the numbers at this point. I was going to give it a good rating until Nikki and Brie brought back the fucking twin magic. You remember a couple of weeks ago, 2 women that the WWE universe doesn't really know about? Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks had not only the greatest women's match of the year, but one of the greatest matches of the year, period. It didn't need gimmicks. It was just 2 women who wanted the belt. 2 women who had a past history as friends, but now are rivals. How come we can't see that on the main card? It sucks that the women on the main card are treated in such a fashion that they need gimmicks to get them over. Shame. Moving on. Ryback has his first title defense as the new Intercontinental Champion against The Miz. The Miz is another person that I'm now he has done well for getting other guys over because of his heel heat, but how far has he fallen? I mean, he is a Triple Crown champion. Hard to believe. So, before the match even gets started, the Big Show makes his triumphant return, knocks the fuck out of The Miz, and then states his intention of being the next Intercontinental Champion. Now, I like this for Ryback because their styles should mesh together. Should. I'm not saying they will, but they should. So there's that. I'm trying to think here. What was next? We had some backstage funny moments with the looking for the spokesperson for Sonic Shakes, and we had the Mega Powers doing something that if you're not looking at the picture, if you're not looking at the screen and just close your eyes and just listened, it could come off as very homoerotic. The best one was Big Show, of course, who said, "So wait, how many flavors you guys got?" He's like, "We had 24. I'm gonna need 1 of each." What? I'm a method actor. Big Show can be very funny when he needs to be. But yeah, it was a little segment, but I liked it. Let's see. I'm trying to I'm trying to remember. Oh yes, Randy Orton and Sheamus had a match. Both of them are also entered into the Money in the Bank ladder match. And it was a very good match. These two worked very well together, but ended in a DQ against Sheamus when he used a chair and giving Randy Orton 2 bro kicks. Didn't like how it ended, but it does give Sheamus a little bit more credibility as a heel. I'm sure. If I missed some, I'm sorry. We had Bo Dallas versus Neville, rematch from last night's Elimination Chamber. Bo Dallas, of course, comes out, but he doesn't come out the same as usual. He comes out very serious. He says, Neville, I tried to help you. Now all I want to do is hurt you. That's the darkest we've seen Bo Dallas appear since he made his debut on the main roster. This was also a very solid match, just like last night, and it was nice to see Bo Dallas be more aggressive and more dark and brutal. But of course, Neville picks up the win. Very good match for both of these guys. More promos for Tough Enough. Moving on. I'm just going to skip right to the end. We have Roman Reigns, very, very hurt, versus Bray Wyatt. Very good matchup. And we have some small amount of interference from Seth Rollins and his goon squad of J&J Security and Kane. But nevertheless, my boy Roman Reigns picks up the win. Then he starts getting jolly stomped by Seth and his goons until Dean Ambrose comes out, doing as Dean Ambrose does and fucking everybody's day up. Still with the WWE World Heavyweight title. And he absconds with it. And the Authority were not happy with it. And so, that was Raw. My thoughts? A very boring and by-the-numbers Raw. Except for the Kevin Owens, John Cena promo, there really wasn't much to really keep you interested. I mean, the Raws nowadays, the pay-per-views tend to be better and more entertaining than the actual Raw. And Raws nowadays just feel like they're by the numbers and they're just boring. I was struggling to stay awake trying to watch it. Not saying it's bad, but you could probably skip this one and you wouldn't. And you could probably watch repeats or little clips on YouTube, on the WWE's YouTube channel, or watch the clips on the network, and you wouldn't be really missing much. So yeah, that's my whole take on it. So if you haven't watched this Raw, it's okay. You can skip it. It's skippable. But watch this Thursday night SmackDown. Kevin Owens will be doing his own version of the John Cena Open Challenge by doing his NXT Open Challenge. Fight Owens, fight. But yeah, that's my review. So if you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe below. Got any questions, comments, or want to talk about Raw? Leave them below. I'll get back to you. Want to support the channel? Click on an advertisement or two. It literally takes just a second out of your day. Or if you're feeling more generous, tip jar's right up there. Drop $1 in the bucket. I could use it to get a burrito. But yeah, so until next time, it's a shintigercurl, that dude in the straw hat, saying good night, and I'm going to bed.